Paige Bueckers versus Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark destroyed the Dallas Wings.
3 rebounds, 13 assists, 5 steals.
Caitlin Clark reminded everybody who she is through her playmaking.
The Fever absolutely pummeled the Dallas Wings.
It was a performance of the ages.
Caitlin Clark just made WNBA history again.
I don't believe there is a team in this league that can beat the Indiana Fever.
In a game that fans had waited years for, she went head-to-head with rival Paige Bueckers and didn't just win, she dominated.
Caitlin Clark could have broke the assist record. She played 24 minutes. If the 3 players made wide open layups from Caitlin, she would have had 16 assists in 24 minutes.
4 records shattered, a franchise reignited, and every critic silenced.
Caitlin Clark has reached 200 points and 100 assists this season, the fastest to do so in a single season in WNBA history.
This wasn't just a game. This was a statement.
This is what it looks like when they let Caitlin Clark run the show.
For 5 long years, basketball fans dreamed of this moment. 2 of the most electrifying players of their generation, Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers, finally clashing not in high school gyms or college arenas, but on the biggest stage in the world, the WNBA.
What an epic game we seen. I got a little nervous, bro, because Paige Bueckers was starting to cook.
This wasn't just a regular season game between the Indiana Fever and the Dallas Wings. This was the professional debut of one of basketball's most storied rivalries, and it delivered fireworks.
There are levels to basketball, Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers, between Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers.
From the moment they were teenage phenoms, Clark and Bueckers were destined to collide. They dominated headlines, highlight reels, and recruiting rankings.
Caitlin Clark is now has the 5th most double-doubles with points and assists in WNBA history. Caitlin Clark running the show.
Clark, a scoring machine with Steph Curry range. Bueckers, a silky smooth playmaker with old-school poise. Opposite styles, opposite personalities, but both undeniable talents.
Caitlin Clark has reached 200 points and 100 assists this season, the fastest to do so in a single season in WNBA history.
Their paths diverged in college. Paige chose the dynasty, UConn. Clark took the underdog route, signing with Iowa and putting the Hawkeyes on her back. And while Paige was hailed as the chosen one early on, it was Clark who outshined when it mattered most.
Caitlin Clark has changed the game. She changed it in college and in the WNBA.
The country has fallen in love with what we have created. And America, here's the girl next door, all grown up, Caitlin Clark.
In the NCAA tournament, Clark delivered masterpiece performances, including a 41-point bombshell that sent UConn packing. The head-to-head tally, Clark 2, Paige 1, and in every matchup, it was Clark who walked away with the spotlight.
And Diana said it best. This kid's in for a rude awakening. And they all jumped over her, but they didn't read the whole thing that she said. But nobody's printing. Diana Taurasi was right. This kid's on the wrong team. She's got the wrong skill set to handle the physicality of that league. And she's a rookie. And if you're a WNBA player, if you're any kind of player, you're going to say, I'm going to make a statement.
Still, critics kept doubting. Legendary UConn coach Gino Auriemma questioned if Clark's wild shot selection could survive in the pros. Diana Taurasi, one of the GOATs, warned that Clark was in for a rude awakening. Some said Paige had the more polished game for the WNBA, that Caitlin's skills were flash without substance.
This was a dominant performance, man. I know a lot of y'all out there are mad. Y'all was hoping we would drop the ball, but it didn't happen.
But all that talk set the stage for July 2025, when the Indiana Fever hosted the Dallas Wings. Nationally televised on ABC Millions Watching, and the spotlight locked in on one question: could Caitlin Clark shut everyone up and prove once and for all that this rivalry belongs to her?
She showed up this game, and what happened? What happened? She beat the dog crap out of Paige Bueckers and the Dallas Wings, destroyed them from beginning to end.
Coming into the matchup, the Fever had been inconsistent, struggling with lineup changes, chemistry issues, and a slower style of play that clashed with Clark's strengths. Her transition-heavy game was being muffled by a half-court system,
Stephanie White has faded Caitlin Clark, for lack of a better way of putting it.
The Indiana Fever not being in the greatest situation.
Caitlin Clark has to put her foot down. This is ridiculous.
Rumors of locker room tension and sideline blowups were real, including a heated exchange with Coach Stephanie White that went viral just weeks earlier.
She has taken away Caitlin Clark's greatest asset, which is the creator and instigator of offense.
Clark had been under pressure, battling through a shooting slump, facing critics calling her overrated, and hearing whispers that maybe she wasn't ready for this level.
You cannot debate Caitlin Clark versus any young player until any of those young players are on a good basketball team. First of all, they need to be on a good basketball team. Second of all, they need to beat Caitlin Clark.
This game was personal. It wasn't just Clark versus Bueckers. It was Clark versus the doubters. Clark versus expectations. Clark versus the WNBA itself. And what happened next was the beginning of something historic.
Is this what Stephanie White needs to see? To finally say to herself, oh, all right, alrighty, fine.
Everything changed the moment Coach Stephanie White finally handed Caitlin Clark the keys. After weeks of tension and philosophical clashes about tempo and system, White made the boldest move of her coaching tenure.
Nobody who can approximate what Caitlin Clark does when it comes to her playmaking.
She let Caitlin Clark run the offense her way. No more slow, half-court sets, no more hesitation. Against Dallas, Clark was finally unleashed, and the result, one of the most dominant and record-breaking performances the WNBA has ever seen.
Caitlin Clark getting hounded all game. Of course, the only way to play defense on her.
From the opening minutes, it was clear Clark wasn't just here to play. She was here to orchestrate. Her passes weren't just accurate. They were magnetic. Touchdown lobs, cross-court dimes, vision that bent defenses before the ball even moved.
She's running the floor. She's throwing those long passes, accurate passes.
Early in the game, both teams were still feeling each other out, but you could see Clark setting the tempo. It was like a chess master placing her pieces, patient, deliberate, lethal.
That second quarter, oh man, absolutely bombing away. That second quarter, Aaliyah Boston, 7 points. Natasha Howard, 10 points. Caitlin Clark, 5 assists in a second quarter. When her assist numbers are high in a quarter, you know they're playing Caitlin Clark style basketball.
Then came the second quarter, and the game exploded. With Clark at the helm, the Fever put on a clinic. They scored an incredible 36 points in just 10 minutes, outscoring Dallas by 21 in the quarter alone. It was chaos for the Wings and poetry for Indiana.
The amount of full-court passes from Caitlin Clark to Kelsey Mitchell, from Caitlin Clark to Sophie Cunningham, we might have hit more touchdown passes in today's game than every other game so far this season combined.
Clark was pushing the ball off every rebound, reading the defense in real time, threading impossible passes into easy buckets. It was beautiful basketball, fast, fluid, and unstoppable.
The Indiana Fever beat the Dallas Wings 102-83. The game wasn't close past the first quarter. We're up by 1 in the first quarter, and that second quarter, we destroy.
The Fever's 64-point first half shattered their own franchise record, breaking the previous mark of 63 set all the way back in 2016. But that wasn't just a Fever record. It was the highest scoring half by any WNBA team in the entire 2025 season. This wasn't just good, it was elite.
Nobody who can approximate what Caitlin Clark does when it comes to her playmaking.
But Clark wasn't just filling up the stat sheet, she was elevating everyone around her. Kelsey Mitchell caught fire, scoring 20 points and extending her double-digit scoring streak to 21 games.
This is what it looks like when they let Caitlin Clark run the show.
Natasha Howard looked reborn, running the floor like a sprinter, finishing with 18 points on 8 of 9 shooting. Aaliyah Boston dominated the paint with strength and efficiency, her chemistry with Clark shining in every pick and roll and interior dish.
The real difference with Caitlin Clark.
Even Sophie Cunningham came off the bench and dropped 13 crucial points, including the bucket that pushed her over 1,500 career points. Clark's fingerprints were everywhere. Her passes created rhythm, her pace created chaos, and her leadership unlocked the team's full potential. And the numbers? Unreal.
Caitlin Clark at 24 minutes, 14, 13, and 5.
Caitlin Clark, good Lord, what a game. 3 rebounds, 13 assists, 5 steals, a block shot, and 14 points.
Caitlin Clark finished the game with 14 points, 13 assists, and 5 steals, making her the only player in WNBA history to ever post that stat line twice in a career. She's not just scoring, she's disrupting defenses, controlling tempo, and redefining what a rookie can do in the pros.
Caitlin has a 13-2 assist to turnover ratio, 123 points. They put up 123 points through 4 quarters.
Only had 2 turnovers this game.
Every assist came with intent, every steal shifted momentum, and every possession she touched felt like a potential highlight. By the end of the game, the Fever had 30 total assists, tying a franchise record, and 13 of those came from Clark's hands.
She's good at times of finishing through contact, but her finishing at the basket is not really, or not even, she doesn't want to go there. She really is just a mid-range scorer.
A testament not just to her talent, but to her impact. She didn't just score, she commanded, she led. It was the kind of performance that turns a rookie into a franchise cornerstone, the kind of night that makes WNBA history, and the kind of game that silences everyone who ever said Caitlin Clark wasn't ready for the league.
Caitlin Clark has changed the game. She changed it in college and in the WNBA.
The country has fallen in love with what we have created. And America, here's the girl next door, all grown up, Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark has captivated the nation, breaking scoring records in college and bringing women's basketball to a whole new audience.
She is a phenomenon.
Clark didn't just dominate offensively. She tore down every criticism that had been hurled her way since entering the WNBA. Remember what the experts said? She's not physical enough.
Caitlin is still off on her 3-point shot. That's going to come around. I got the notion today she's starting to really get her legs.
She's too turnover prone. She can't defend at the pro level. Her game won't translate. Even legends like Diana Taurasi said she was in for a rude awakening. Gino Auriemma doubted her shot selection. The media, social feeds, even rival coaches were circling, waiting for her to fail.
There is no guard that is even close to being on the level of being as impactful for the totality of the game and how the game is played as Caitlin Clark. She changes everything. She makes everyone's life easier.
And yet, on this night against Dallas, Clark delivered her most complete game as a professional. Yes, her 14 points and 13 assists were dazzling, but it was her defensive impact that turned heads and crushed narratives. Clark read passing lanes like she had the Dallas playbook memorized. She anticipated, reacted, and intercepted with laser focus.
She's playing while getting hacked the entire game. They're not calling any fouls on her, and she's coming off an injury. Bro, 14 points, 13 assists. 13 assists, 5 steals. Clark had 5 steals.
The Wings couldn't move the ball without her disrupting their flow and then turning defense into instant offense. Her 5 steals weren't empty stats. They were game-shifting moments.
You get the playmaking. Y'all see the playmaking, bro? The backdoor passes. Come on, once the 3-ball start rolling again, y'all really in trouble.
One of those steals led to a highlight reel fast break assist, where Clark fired a perfect over-the-top pass to Sophie Cunningham in stride, creating what fans are now calling a touchdown fever moment.
This is what happens when you hand the ball to the best point guard and you just run the floor. It's simple.
She even had a massive block on Dallas guard Jordan Canada that instantly turned into another fast break bucket. This wasn't just effort. It was IQ timing, control, leadership. And speaking of leadership, Clark shut down Dallas's biggest offensive threat, Arik Ogunbowale, who went 0 for 10 from the field.
She's playing while getting hacked the entire game. They're not calling any fouls on her, and she's coming off an injury. Bro, 14 points, 13 assists. 13 assists, 5 steals. Clark had 5 steals.
That's right. Dallas's all-star score was held to just 2 total points. The same Arik who was supposed to exploit Clark's defense instead found herself completely smothered, frustrated, and ineffective.
Does that Cunningham
right here?
Close out.
She's going to get she got a block shot, throws it down for the touchdown pass to Sophie Cunningham.
It was a complete shutdown job. In a statement that Clark's game isn't just built for the WNBA, it can thrive on both ends of the court. Even Dallas's physical strategy backfired.
The amount of full court passes from Caitlin Clark to Kelsey Mitchell, from Caitlin Clark to Sophie Cunningham, we might have hit more touchdown passes in today's game than every other game so far this season combined.
They tried grabbing her off the ball, blitzing screens, botting her up to wear her down.
Caitlin Clark has changed the game. She changed it in college and in the WNBA.
The country has fallen in love with what we have created. And America, here's the girl next door, all grown up, Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark has captivated the nation, breaking scoring records in college and bringing women's basketball to a whole new audience.
She is a phenomenon.
And all it did was open up passing lanes and lanes to the rim. Clark used their aggression against them, constantly finding the open teammate, constantly making them pay.
Caitlin Clark running the show.
Caitlin Clark showed y'all. She the best that ever did it and got away with it.
Her composure under pressure was elite. And the final score? Indiana Fever 102, Dallas Wings 83. An absolute blowout, orchestrated from start to finish by Caitlin Clark. This wasn't just a good game.
Caitlin is James Worthy's Magic Johnson. She is a better passer and scorer.
They gave Caitlin Clark the ball.
This was her WNBA arrival. A moment so impactful, it instantly changed how everyone viewed her place in the league. She didn't just answer the critics.
She is the best guard in this league by a mile, and that's while not shooting well. When Caitlin figures it out, she is going to be exactly like she is last year, but better, because she's a better defender. She is a better defender.
She buried them. And as for the rivalry with Paige Bueckers, let's be honest, it's not even close right now.
Caitlin Clark is obviously the reason why everybody's watching the WNBA. She's the reason why all these fans are tuning in.
Nobody on this team sets screens.
Caitlin Clark didn't just win, she made history.
Yo, that is the first Caitlin Clark versus Paige Bueckers matchup, and both of them played well. The Fever absolutely pummeled the Dallas Wings.
In her first WNBA showdown with Paige Bueckers, she shattered records, led her team to a dominant win, and proved every critic wrong.
Paige Bueckers versus Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark destroyed the Dallas Wings.
3 rebounds, 13 assists, 5 steals.
Caitlin Clark reminded everybody who she is through her playmaking.
The Fever absolutely pummeled the Dallas Wings.
It was a performance of the ages.
This game was a turning point. Clark showed she's not just ready for the league, she's ready to change it. The rivalry settled for now. The league officially on notice. Caitlin Clark has arrived, and this is only the beginning.